Hello there, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. I'm here to help you steer a path to Chap Nirvana, where you will look smart and presentable every day of your lives. Now, part of helping you on that journey is responding to questions which I get from viewers. And today, a viewer called Kay has written to me. And this is what he says. The traditional suit colours of business are navy and grey. In the past, it was brown as well. I am thinking of introducing a brown suit into my wardrobe. Do you think this colour of suit is still stylish, and can it be worn in many occasions? Regards from Kay. It's a great question. There are many benefits to be obtained from brown. I am wearing a brown sports jacket myself right now just to demonstrate that. But brown has a really rich history in the wardrobes of intentionally well-dressed men, that's for sure. Particularly if we look back in the golden era of men's style from, say, the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. But sadly, it took a bit of a dive after the end of the Second World War, where without a doubt navy and grey sort of dominated the world of business wear, and brown became seen as something which was to be worn in more casual or maybe rural settings. And it wasn't long before brown came to be seen as the colour of clothing worn in the non-professional world. And as such, because it was seen as people who worked perhaps in occupations which were less vaulted and had less status in society, it started to slip slowly from the wardrobes of intentionally well-dressed men from that point. Now, aside from that, I've got some personal theories on this, because brown is a great colour. But I think it started to die away after the Second World War. And of course, the Second World War was when many men found themselves conscripted into military service. And in the United Kingdom and in the United States of America, the uniforms which those men wore naturally were a sort of brown, a khaki or browny green of some kind. And I think men, when they left military service, they didn't want to be reminded of that terrible period of their lives where they had to fight for their country. And as a result, men steered away from that sort of militaristic colour, which was brown, khaki, olivey colour. And as a result, they headed more towards the navies and the greys, which we see predominating the style world today. Now, today we live in an era of shifting norms when it comes to men's style, that's for sure. And designers and manufacturers are showing a definite renaissance in the colour brown, as they come to acknowledge and respect the fact that there are many different types of brown, many different textures, and it's being rediscovered again, all over again, for its versatility of wear and its warmth of colour as well. So today I'm going to give you some of my thoughts around perhaps why you should consider bringing brown back into your wardrobe. Now, the first reason in my mission here to convince you to reconsider brown is the fact that brown is actually a very versatile alternative to those greys and navies which you will see everywhere. Those colours, grey and navy, and various iterations of them, totally dominate the style world these days. You go to the online stores of any large department stores and you'll be lucky to see them offering a brown alternative. All you will see is a sea of navy blues and greys of different kind, but mostly towards the sort of charcoal grey, the nearly black type. And I think brown offers a really refreshing alternative, which actually still gives the appearance of professionalism whilst looking a little bit different. Brown can still be worn. It's entirely a business appropriate. You can still wear it in pretty much every situation that you can wear a navy or a grey suit. There's no doubt about that at all. So don't think that brown is just something for the farm hands or the vets and the people who work in the sort of out of town environment. That is not the case. Brown can still be interesting if you want to bring something different into your suit rotation. And the reason why brown is so good is because there are a multitude of different shades within the colour brown itself. To be fair, same as grey, same as navy, but brown has got a lot going on. I mean, you can have brown, as I'm wearing now, with little flecks of other colours in it, which open up the world just to something different from those corporate greys and navies, which are so boring, to be frank. I mean, we see them over and over and over again. Brown offers something totally different. You know, if you go for the lighter shades of brown, they are maybe for the warmer time of year and maybe perhaps for more casual situations. The darker browns fit perfectly in the more formal elements of life as well. So, you know, you've got a bit of all going on, from casual to formal. The man who chooses to wear brown is the man who will stand out from the sea of corporate drones who are all dressed exactly the same. So it allows you to be different, yet still utterly appropriate for the situations that you find yourself in. Now, the next thing I would say why you should consider brown is because it really does add a bit of warmth and sophistication to your choice of wardrobe, that's for sure. Now, brown certainly adds warmth to a man's look. It is a colour that evokes many sort of naturalistic thoughts and feelings when we see it. It gives you a sense of approachability and groundedness and strength and reliability, and you know, it's earthiness, because brown is a colour which we see constantly in nature. It makes us think of dependability, reliability, strength, warmth, because this is a colour which I see. I'm here in the autumn now. The floor is littered with the detritus of the coming fall season because there are leaves everywhere, and of course in a multitude of different colours of brown. So it's that ethereal connection that we have with the colour, which is perhaps less so with the greys and the navies, which seem so clinical in comparison to the natural origins of Mother Brown. So if you're a gentleman who's used to wearing navies and greys and you want to soften your look, you want to bring a bit more warmth into it, whilst remaining solidly polished and highly professional, consider brown and its multitude of variations, because it might be just the thing that you're looking for. Now, another reason why brown is a good colour to have in a suit or a sports jacket is actually it's one of its finer qualities, which is often overlooked. The fact that brown pairs very, very well with many, many other colours. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's quite a neutral colour, but if you think of brown, it tends to go with everything. Now, I'm wearing a light blue shirt with this brown sports jacket I'm wearing, and it is so naturally connecting. It works so well. But equally, if I was wearing a white shirt, or maybe an ecru shirt, or a cream-coloured shirt, it would look even better because you have the family of colours which are connecting together very nicely. Earth tones, when it comes to the accessories of one's clothing, work very, very well with brown. So red colours, olive greens, any sort of variation of red, you know, the russets, the browns, the things that we see here in society, in nature around us. Lots of colours. Now today I'm actually wearing a sort of burgundy coloured tie, but I've gone for something which is rarely seen in nature, a little bit of blue. So it adds the connection with the shirt I'm wearing, and it just all fits so well with brown. There's hardly a colour out there that does not marry very well with brown, which can't be entirely said of navy and grey, because brown, it's just got that interconnectivity with all the other colours going in its favour. Now, another reason why I'm a fan of brown is the fact that it's so timeless and seasonally appropriate for pretty much every element of the year. If you think of navy and grey, yes, they are very businesslike, but they seem somewhat incongruous for the warmer times of year. You know, they just don't seem right. They seem too dark and heavy, where one tends to look for colours which are lighter in their outlook. Brown fits in perfectly at that time of year. However, what I would say is that brown comes into its own in the cooler times of year, particularly the autumn, as I am now, surrounded, as I say, by nature's display of brown all around me. But brown just works so well. It harmonizes very well with the earth colors that we're going to see around us. Not only that, but what you will see is that brown often comes in fabrics which have texture. We will see it in flannel. We will see it in tweed particularly, and wools and variations thereof. And so we get more of a three-dimensional impact. Even the garment I'm wearing now, it's not got a sheer finish. It doesn't refract the light so well. It gives that sort of satin appearance which fits in beautifully at the cooler time of year. So brown, so good in the summer when you can take the light colours. You know, often we saw people, adventurers wearing khaki clothing, which is brown. And in the winter time, the cooler time of year, brown, it's what Mother Nature tells us to wear. It's what it wears itself. So, appropriate for any season. And finally, if I haven't sold you yet on this wonderful colour brown, bringing it back into your wardrobe, let me tell you, what you get with brown is tradition, but with a modern twist. Because if you're a gentleman who's interested in the heritage of men's style, you will be familiar with the fact that in the golden era of dressing well, brown was a colour which gentlemen rotated with their navies, with their greys, and probably favoured it a bit more because of the qualities that we've talked about today. So if you bring brown into your wardrobe now, yes, you'll get all the benefits that we've talked about, but you also get a nod back to that classic era where men, it is arguable to say, knew better ways of dressing than we see in evidence around us today. So men's style delivered well in the modern era definitely will include brown. And a brown suit in this modern world will see you standing apart from all of those bloody clones who only dress in navy and grey. Bring a flourish of colour and interest into your outfit, whether it be a full suit or just a sports jacket like me. If you're uncertain of where to start with brown, I suggest looking at tweed. Let me tell you, it's been good enough for James Bond more than once, so it'll be good enough for you. And as I often say, as I'm about to leave the house, the standard which I set myself is quite simple. I say to myself as I look in the mirror, would James Bond wear this? And absolutely, when it comes to brown, he certainly would. So you can tick the box and stride out into the world with confidence in your brown garment. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video today on my discussion posed by a viewer around the question whether we can bring brown into a modern wardrobe. If you would like to ask me a question just like Kay did, drop it into the comments section below or send me an email. I am the only person who reads the emails which come into me, so you can send them in confidence and with no judgment from me. If you'd like to support the channel, you could buy me a coffee or even join our patron club, and that way you'll get the extra videos which I make for my patrons each and every week. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more like this in the future. So until the next time, folks, consider brown, and I'm sure it will enhance your wardrobe. And I will see you again very soon.